I'm glad somebody's talking about this. I just caught this news of some controversy with Superman where they took a scene out when it came to crypto. I just heard about it, of course. Charlie or Penguin Zero is talking about it as well. I want to see what his point is, but I want to give my 2 cents first. If this is true, it's been going around this past weekend that people are complaining because James Gunn took out a big scene in Superman where Crypto gets hit by Ultraman or whoever the dude is in the black suit. I'm just going to say Ultraman because more than likely that's who it is. But there's a scene where he hits Crypto. And I guess whoever viewed it first, like the people before they actually released it to us, I don't know who they're called, but apparently, I'll say allegedly, they didn't like that and they were saying it was animal abuse. Mind you, Crypto is CGI. He's not real. He has Superman powers. If he wanted to, if he terrorized the earth and Superman wasn't around, ain't many gonna stop him. He's not real, all in all. So I was like, animal abuse? Bro, this is the stuff I'm talking about, bro, that could mess up this movie. And it's not just this movie, but it's my problem with a lot of cinema is where you gotta have moments where the movie showcases why you don't like these villains. It was a villain hitting a dog, which I'm a CGI dog, mind you, and I'm pretty sure too that Crypto was whooping tail. We see in the trailers here, Crypto's out there fighting crime, and I'm pretty sure him and Ultraman probably had a scene, and Crypto hit him, and then maybe Ultraman did a conquest on Oliver thing and turned around and hit the dog, and that was probably it. Why is that so bad to take out? Animal abuse? That is, are we serious? And I'm so glad, I'm assuming that's what he's talking about because in his thumbnail it says, what's the title? Hold on. Yeah, huge Superman drama. And he had Crypto and Ultraman next to each other. So I'm assuming he's going to talk about it too. But I'm just sitting here, I'm like, why is that a big deal? We want the villain to be a villain because that motivates the superhero to be like the clip they showed already where Crypto gets stolen, gets taken, and Superman barges into Lex Luthor's room. Where's the dog? We see how he is with his dog. I like that they show like he is about his family, his dog. So I'm pretty sure if Ultraman did that to Crypto, Superman would have been like, and go all in. Because if we know Superman, in certain projects, he doesn't go all the way in and then something happens that makes him be like, oh, okay, I got to get serious. That could have been a moment, and here's another thing. This also brings up something that I wanted to talk about before was, why are we shunning, why is Hollywood, why do they like to shun how bad villains are? These are villains. They want to take over the world, destroy people, stuff like that. They have no interest of you, but they're always trying to, make them this good person. Like the 101 Dalmatians, Cruella de Vil. We knew what her plot was in 101 Dalmatians, but then he started making this live action one to try to make her lighter than she actually is. All this stuff, I don't understand why we keep doing this to villains. We don't need that. We want villains in a lot of aspects, not everyone, but most aspects to be villains. Why is that taken out? That makes no sense. Oh, we're taking out a scene because it's too bad. It showcases how bad a villain is. That's what we want. So we can actually root against the villain and not have to sit there and be like, well, the villain I understand his point. He's just doing it the wrong way. No, he's a villain. He's trying to destroy you. Superman, handle your business. And I know for a fact if they kept that scene in there, the fans would have been like, Superman, handle that. But now they took it off. Now the threat level decreases, and you're sitting there like, especially now that we know. I wish I didn't know about it. Because honestly, if I didn't know about it, I wouldn't even care because I didn't know. But now that it's shared, and then it's all, I'll say allegedly shared, and now you hear what the scene is about. Animal abuse? Really? CGI. He's not real. What animal do what Crypto do? It is nothing wrong with getting some leeway on motivation, I should say, for a superhero like John Wick. We love the dog. It was sad to see what happened with the dog, but it happened. And then it started the whole John Wick movies. I'm just curious to see what he has to say. Now, I will say this. I am totally understandable if it was a scene where they were just sitting there for 5 minutes, like just sitting there torturing, like just torturing the dog. Okay, but they're not going to do that. From what I heard, it was just a single punch. Crypto was probably tearing it up there. Ultraman turned around and conquest him. You know, if you've seen Invincible, you know why I'm saying conquest him. But let me hear what Penguin has to say. I'll put the original video description below.
A bigger conversation for a couple of years now about how a lot of movies are now afraid to make villains actually evil.
Thank you.
There's this trend of making sure a villain is like bad,
yeah,
but not reprehensible.
Right. Let's just nerf how bad he is.
Feel something. And today I read this about how a scene has been cut from the upcoming.
Hold on. A scene where Ultraman punches Crypto was removed. It received a very negative reaction during. What? Come on, James. And you know what's weird about James Gunn cutting that off? Did we forget Guardians of the Galaxy 3? We talking about animal abuse. That was rough. But it was needed. It was needed for the story. It wasn't just thrown in there just to, for some, I don't know, some fancy or something, which you're weird if that's a fancy to see animals hurt. But you know what I'm trying to say. It was in Guardians of the Galaxy. It meant something. And nobody was complaining then. It progressed the story. A punch to a superhero dog? Like, really? Like, come on now.
Had Ultraman punch Crypto, the super dog, and they removed it because it had a negative reception from the test screening audience. That's the point. It's supposed to elicit a negative reaction. That's the fucking bad guy.
He's a villain. Thank you.
He's supposed to be doing villainous things that you don't support. You're supposed to wiggle your finger and say, that's real naughty, mister.
Right.
Mind if Superman really gave you the what for? That's the whole fucking point. I don't
You're supposed to root against
why
them.
There's been this huge push to make every villain just like moderately evil. It's actually like that scene from SpongeBob with every villain is lemons. Like, it is weird. And I do agree with the sentiment that by making all of these villains basically Weenie Hut Jr. bad guys, it waters everything.
Yes, it does. That threat level don't feel the same.
Interesting. Also, in this case specifically, there's a lot of people celebrating like, huge W, James Gunn, animal abuse has no place in movies. First of all, it's not a real dog. It's a CGI dog. Also, it's not a defenseless puppy. I don't think Ultraman went to the Humane Society and started slapping everyone.
Right, exactly.
I think that even in the context of the film, the super dog, Crypto, was probably beating his ass. And
the movie's trailers and clips have shown very well that Crypto was about his business. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. They showed the scene in the trailer with Luthor's in Superman's home, and you see Crypto trying to fight him. I'm pretty sure that was the scene. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And then that's what probably knocks out Crypto. Ultraman knocks out Crypto and Lex Luthor takes him, which then leads to that other scene we know where Superman breaks in saying, "Where's the dog?" I'm pretty sure that's how it turned out. Come on, like y'all people some of y'all be so sensitive. Animal would be like, really?
We have already seen Crypto in the trailer, one of the promotional pieces, rip off a guy's helmet so Superman can punch his fucking teeth out.
Come on now.
So you're telling me Crypto, the super dog, the one that can shoot laser beams and tear an average man in half just playing a game of fetch.
He gets to take over the world if he wanted
during
to.
The fight. Like, you're not allowed to engage with Crypto. He can beat the shit out of you.
But you can't hit
your ass. But the second you hit the dog, all of a sudden it's just pure silence.
Because I ain't gonna front. If Crypto was a villain, let's say if this role was reversed, if it was a dark side dog, let's say that, I'm like, Superman, would you knock him out? Because if not, this dog gonna take over everything. It's like no, but you can't do it though. It's so stupid, so dumb.
Like, the audience just gets up and leaves.
Right.
That doesn't make
Trust
sense.
me, the audience would not do that.
Also,
but 95% of us are not.
Like, he's supposed to do bad things. I don't know why people are happy when the villain is so soft, like just so neutered. That's not good. Like, you're supposed to go into a movie and hopefully feel something.
Yes.
Be entertained. If you go into a film and the bad guy is just like hey, my name's Death Kilgore, and I want to take over the world, but I don't want to hurt anyone. I want to make sure everyone's treated fairly.
I want to make sure you're okay. You all right? You all right? Okay.
You're a villain. That's boring. Like, you just go play with action figures in your bathtub or something.
Stop being so soft, man.
It's so silly to be cheering when a villain
that is soft. I don't care if someone gets offended by it. That is soft.
Like, I saw some people, unironically, saying that this was a good move because it's glorifying animal abuse if they had kept it in.
Give me a break.
What universe are you in?
Thank you.
Where are you? come back to the corporeal realm, glorifying animal abuse. It's the bad guy, and he fought a super dog, apparently.
That probably the dog could have killed him.
What is happening? I don't think there was like a long monologue where James Gunn had Ultraman give a passionate speech about why animal abuse is something to be applauded, about like why we should go around beating animals. It doesn't glorify animal abuse. Like, that is so delusional. But you know what? To be fair, I haven't seen the movie yet. I wasn't there in the test screenings with the popcorn shoved up my ass. Maybe this scene that they removed was just twisted.
I doubt it. I doubt it. I hope they put it whenever it gets on Blu-ray, which we got a while for that. They have that in the deleted scene. I would love to see what that scene looked like. I seriously doubt it was that serious. A super dog gets hit.
Lois. Crypto goes to take a shit, and Ultraman just comes in unannounced, bah, and just pops it. Just gives it a fucking fat knuckle sandwich, and then flies away, giggling, hitting a Mr. Krabs on the way out, saying, "I love beating animals." Maybe it was weird. Maybe it really was like a step too far.
Doubt it.
Well, I've been pretty neutral on Superman. I actually went back and rewatched Man of Steel. It's better than I remember.
Really good movie. Love it.
I just rewatched it, and it's actually pretty solid.
It's a very good movie.
Everything I've seen from the Superman trailers, like, it looks like it'll be fun.
Yeah, it looks like fun. There's some moments I don't like of this new Superman, but overall, it looks good.
It took some of the wind out of the sails.
I'm going to see it.
For me, it's the villain. You can hate them. That's
wait. What did he say?
Fun. Cautiously optimistic about it, but then reading this left me confused and took some of the wind out of the sails for this film for me. It's the villain. You can hate them. That's what they're fine. Like, I'm not saying the movie needs to set up the villain as the most evil, irredeemable.
Right, you don't have to be like the Joker or something like that, but come on.
Showcasing all kinds of despicable acts, beating dogs, beating women, taking candy from babies. They need to show these horrors so that way the audience hates them. I'm not saying that, but this scene does make sense. Him hitting a Kryptonian super dog, most likely.
It has to be. Oh, sorry. Shoot. All right, I had to fix it. My whole video just froze from that Paul's ad. What was I going to say? I totally forgot. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I'm pretty sure the ones who complain don't know a lick of Superman comics or nothing like that, or anything of Superman. There's no way someone who knows Superman, knows Crypto, knows the comic. You don't even have to know the comics. It's anything like the movies, the TV shows. There's no way they were the ones that complained. There's no way. And I'm pretty sure those who complained wasn't even a lot of them. Out of 95% of us that would have been cool with it, it was that 5%. I'm pretty sure it was just 5%. Dang, James, I wish you kept that. Like, James, you should have just ignored them on that. Like, because they're going to act stupid like you didn't do Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and a lot of people loved it. I didn't hear. Let me know. Did anybody complain about those? If you've seen the movie, you know why I'm saying that movie. You know why I'm saying it. Because Guardians of the Galaxy has some animal moments. Like, come on, bro. Like, there's no way you are any kind of superhero fan and you think that was bad. I would be surprised if it is.
Superdog, most likely during a fight.
It's like, more
than checks out. Like, that is something the villain would do. And, like, is something the villain should probably do. You're not supposed to really root for the villain. Now, obviously, there are cases of very complex and interesting villains where people do occasionally sympathize.
But they're written up like that.
But in a case like this, I don't think that's the goal here, where you're supposed
I seriously doubt that villain is like the
Ultraman enthusiast because he refused to hit Crypto because they took the scene out. Like, I imagine you're still supposed to be cheering, "Go, Soupy! Get him! Beat this adversary! You've got him!" Like, I imagine that.
Yeah, and it doesn't even say, too, that he hit Crypto and Crypto got knocked out or died. Maybe Crypto bounced back and fought back. We don't know. That's why I hope whenever it comes on DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, it's in the deleted scene. I would like to see what that looked like because it said hit him. It didn't say kill him. I'm pretty sure Crypto, with the powers of Superman, is getting back up and try to fight back. It's like, come on, bro.
Might not have the villain.
And even if he did get knocked out, it's okay. He'll get back up.
I don't know. This feels like such a weird choice to cower away from a scene like that. A scene that doesn't feel like it's unnecessary. A scene that, from what I'm reading, sounds like that is about par for the course. It's the Kryptonian fucking superdog. It fights bad guys. It probably is going to get roughed up occasionally, would be my guess.
It's a superhero.
Mapping circles around this.
Krypto is a superhero, just like Superman.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
There it is.
That movie is an absolute banger. Do you know how much fucked up shit happens to the animals in that movie?
Thank you.
Another James Gunn directed movie.
Okay.
And look
See,
at how well
me and Charlie, we're here.
resonated
We're here.
with so many
A lot of us. I know a lot of us are there.
Where a ton of people were already checking out of Marvel films. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 comes around and feels really fresh.
Yes.
It feels very mature.
That was a
And
really good
unafraid
movie.
To have you root against these bad people that have done bad things to these animals. And these were like defenseless animals in this film, from what I can tell.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Guardians of the Galaxy, these animals didn't have Krypto's power. They didn't have all that strength and lasers and stuff. They didn't have what Krypto had.
With super resistance.
Straight
It
up
can tank that
defenseless.
punch. Like maybe it let out a yelp or something, but I bet you in that scene, Krypto got back up and was probably ready to.
You know what, Charlie? Did I like the video already? Okay, I did. All right.
Postman. But my point is,
Like,
James
he
Gunn
said what I'm saying.
that he is okay putting these kind of elements in movies in the past. He did it with Guardians Volume 3, and he did it beautifully. He made a really, really moving film.
Yes, that was
had
heartfelt.
those elements in it. It helped the audience
Yes.
root against the bad guy, and
Which
it
you're
helped
supposed to.
elevate things, and it actually made you feel something. To take something that's kind of similar, at least from the sound of things, out of this film makes me feel like he's not actually making a passion project. He's not actually making a movie that aims to challenge the audience to feel something or think about something. He's just making a movie that's guaranteed to cross $1 billion, and that's it. He wants like the most sterile, inoffensive,
Or
nothing
WB.
murder, super-
Or WB, because yeah, maybe them. Maybe they're the ones who told you. Because it's hard for me to believe James by himself made that decision to take that scene out when you know what Guardians of the Galaxy 3 had. Maybe Marvel gave him more space to do him. Maybe WB is not. So I'm not going to fully look at James. Maybe it's WB. Like, yo, you hear what these people are saying? The small amount of people, because there's no way a lot of people complain about that. But a small amount of people are saying, take that scene out. Bro, when it's all said and done, let's say James Gunn retires from this DC stuff and goes on, I'm pretty sure down the line he's going to say, I didn't want to take that scene out. WB maybe. There's no way he's like, yeah, let me take that out. That's a way lighter situation than Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So I'm not going to fully look at James on that.
Every man, woman, and child can just go to, turn their brain off and just go, yeah, Soupy, yeah, Soups, get him, woohoo, yeah, and nothing else to cross $1 billion. That's not very exciting to me. Like, I don't like that idea.
No,
and
me
I hope
neither.
I'm wrong. Hopefully, there's a really good explanation for why you would take that scene out, but to me it just feels like it's to soften the film to ensure the general audience can just shovel popcorn in their face, not think, not feel, and just mind numb for 2 hours and watching Superman fight back.
Because I'm not even like, I'll say like Invincible, for example. When Oliver was fighting Conquest, we wasn't enjoying seeing Oliver when Conquest was grabbing him and basically like almost trying to rip him in half. That was terrifying. It was like, oh my goodness. And we're sitting there. But we was like, come on, Mark, get there. And then Mark, that when he went boom and dark, like we was all cheering for that moment. Because that was a very threatening situation. You didn't really know if Oliver's going to make, because I didn't read the comics. So I'm learning Invincible as I'm watching. So that was a very tense moment that made you also not like Conquest even more. This man already gave you many reasons not to like him, but then it made you realize this dude don't care. This is a child and you're doing this. But all that little scene was a lot of development for the show on this villain, and it shows you why Mark has to go all in, because this dude doesn't care. Your little brother's about to get torn apart. But just that comparison to what Superman, it's like, dude, Krypto, if we had that moment, who knows? Like I said, we don't know the full details of that situation, but one punch, that scene, if done right, could have made us look at the villains a certain way, maybe made it more tense. Maybe Superman's not even there, and it leaves an intense situation to where it's like Krypto versus all these guys with Ultraman hitting them too. You don't know what that could have done, but just like how Invincible made that scene so tense and understanding what the villain is and looking at the hero like, come on, it could have been the same for Superman. Because Lord knows what Superman would have been like if he found that out what happened to his dog. It would be like another John Wick situation.
Like,
Not literally, but you know what I mean.
Bad guys. The bad guys that do some morally wrong things, kind of. Like, I don't know. I'll stop ranting about it. I just don't like the trend of making villains not evil.
Yeah,
I just
me neither.
think it makes the movie lesser. Anyway, that's really about it. So, yeah.
And shout out for Batman movies, because that's one thing about that's one thing about that. When you face Joker, you're getting the whole package. You are not cutting. They nerfing Joker. No. He's gonna do what he has to do anyway. This video went longer than I wanted it to, but I literally saw that not too long ago, and I was like, what? They took that scene out because people said what? And then lo and behold, turn on YouTube, he's talking about. I said, oh, good. I want to see what his point of view is. And so I wanted to put me in, like, I wanted to share my point. Instead of making it two different videos where I'm talking about it, then react to it, I said, let's just make it one. So anyway, shout out to him. I'll put the original video in the description below. I love his videos. But yeah, let me know what you think about it. And y'all, I hope people are not looking at James Gunn fully. I'm going to defend him in this way. There's no way that he made that decision on his own. There's no way. That had to have been WB or somebody else higher than him. It has to be. There's no way. Anyway, let me know what you think. I'll see you later. I'm still seeing it though. That I'm looking forward to. I hope it's good. I told y'all before. There's some moments in Superman where I'm like, and there's some moments I'm like, you know. So I just saw recently that Mr. Terrific trailer with Lois Lane. Okay, this is not Guardians of the Galaxy. Mr. Terrific was never this comedic relief from my remembrance of him. This whole and then it wasn't funny. They tried to do this Family Guy thing. You know, when Joe was waiting for his machine to pick up his wheelchair and it took forever. That's what it felt like. It's like, ugh, come on now. Let's lower the comedy, you know, and some other scenes. But I have hope. There's also a lot of other scenes where I'm like, yes. So I'm a mixed bag. I'm still going to see it, and I'm hoping this does well because I want to see Batman, Wonder Woman, Justice League. I want the whole works, but please, James Gunn, do it well. Anyway, we'll just have to wait and see. It's this week, so I'll see y'all later.